On KCWI. Now, every single week we are so proud to be downright proud to salute a great local organization along with Stivers, Ford, Lincoln, and we have a great one to talk about today. We want to introduce you to Amy Yost. Thank you for joining us this morning. This not only is a great organization, has done some incredible work for years, as we're going to find out, but it's something that's very prevalent in today's headlines.
The group is Passport to Prosperity, and what's interesting, you folks started back in '38 to help people escape Germany and Poland before World War II.
Yes, in some capacity for over 75 years now, we've been welcoming the world to Iowa, that being the premise behind why we started as an organization in central Iowa. So we're building awareness about our still yet today, as our programs have changed over the years quite a bit.
Well, and obviously right now, folks, this is the headlines of USA Today. Just today, Germany imposes border controls. This is about the Syrian refugee crisis. So refugee issues have been going on for quite some time, but I really want to talk about what you guys are folks doing September 26th here at Drake. Big event you guys are doing. What's going on?
Yes, this is our largest celebration of the year, all with the purpose of celebrating the global Iowan, and that some people may think that Iowa and Des Moines are not necessarily the most diverse places in the United States.
You don't think so, but you start walking around and you meet people from all over the world.
World Music Festival this weekend.
It's a perfect theme, and I will say that you know, we've had some incredible leadership over the last 30 to 40 years in our state who has created a very welcoming place in Iowa. One of our goals is with Passport and other programs that we host to continue that legacy very much. So Passport celebrates, this year we'll be celebrating 5 global Iowans who have added a lot to the social, economic, and cultural fabric of our state, and so we're proud to bring their accomplishments to light in front of about 300 guests on September 26th at Drake University.
And we're going to talk more about it, but if people want to attend, how do they get tickets, etc.?
Best way to find information is on iowainternationalcenter.org and click on Passport to Prosperity on our top menu. Tickets are only $50, and we do that in the world of gala events to keep it very reasonable so that people from all over our community can attend.
Absolutely, and the money goes to the Ray Resource Initiative. Now, Governor Bob Ray and his lovely wife Billy actually had me to their apartment a couple months ago, and we sat down and chatted for the show, but an amazing human being.
Yeah. Yes.
And
worldwide.
Yeah, and so his involvement in your group, I mean, the Ray Resource Initiative, that's what it all goes to.
Well, he and Billy a couple of years ago kind of came behind us and were supportive of us starting this campaign with their name on that, simply because of that legacy that he has of being a leader and being welcoming to people from all around the world.
Yeah.
You know, a generation ago, we are working within a nexus of other organizations in Des Moines to try to fill those gaps in services. Still yet today, with refugees having much fewer resources than they had during his time of leadership in Iowa.
So as I say, your mission is to build cultural respect at home and around the world, one person at a time. How are we still doing that here, especially with the most recent headlines that Germany is closing its borders, but that America might be helping out in this crisis?
Well, as mentioned, there's lots of great organizations who work together to complement services provided to refugees and immigrants in our community. Some things we do very specifically is we provide professionally taught ESL classes at several locations in Des Moines that meet the needs of more a pre-literate refugee population.
English
and many
is
other,
a second language.
Yes, exactly.
ESL.
English is a second language. And we have a free 24/7 emergency hotline that's available all throughout the state too. For the rural sheriff's department in Decatur County or others who really don't have a resource to deal with a more diversifying community, we try to fill those gaps and really mesh with what other organizations are doing to help with that diversification in our state.
And you know, doing my research about your group, you also have a dialogue series.
We do.
I mean, I love this. Washington and Tehran cyber warfare. Another one, religious diversity in Iowa. Another one, multicultural approaches to medicine. These are fascinating topics.
They are, and we're really trying to invite the community in not only to hear about these topics that have a local and a global impact. We feature people who are regional or local as experts who make the presentations, and we offer the opportunity for people to ask questions, to have a dialogue after these presentations, and we also post them to YouTube so that schools and other people who can't make it out can enjoy them.
And it is another amazing part about this state. People come here to have these, it's similar to the presidential candidates. candidates. You can come here, you can actually interact with people. It's not like,
Yes.
you know, coming from Los Angeles, you go to an event, there's 1,000 people there, and you're not getting any time. You're not getting, if you raise your hand, forget it. There's 100 people asking questions. So all you have to do in Iowa, take one step forward, and you're going to get two coming at you with all the information you need. And a group like yours is fascinating.
Well, we're just pleased to have the chance to talk about what we're doing and welcome people to interact with us as volunteers or to get engaged with our organization and our programs, especially Passport, which comes up in just less than 2 weeks.
When you think about immigrants and refugees as a whole, where do you still see needs? Where are your efforts going now?
In general, a refugee who comes to Iowa or to the U.S. today really only receives about 90 days worth of support or less, depending on the situation. There used to be programs 30, 40 years ago where we would host people, have a host family, and they would meet the comprehensive needs of the family, whether it was learning English, taking the time to transport them to doctor's appointments, and doing things to really come beside them and help them through that process. And so as a state, we're cobbling together and working very hard as organizations that serve these needs to bridge those gaps, to try to help when those services are no longer naturally provided for refugees.
And you know, right now it couldn't be more topical. New York Times just this weekend, the Greek Isle of Kos is overrun with Syrian refugees right now. Literally, they told a story of 3 volunteers standing before a food table and more than 1,000 refugees standing in front of them wanting a meal. People are renting tents to sleep on the beaches, and what they're worried about is losing all their life savings at their first stop before they even get to mainland Europe. Now, right now, you're not a political organization, but right now America, as we discussed, is thinking about taking in 10,000 immigrants. There's talk about more, but just today, you know, Germany was actually the savior of this. Everyone's like, Germany opened their borders, and there was big footage from the airports welcoming them in with food, etc. And now, just from today, they said they're imposing border controls because there are just more people coming through than they were expecting. So if they get to Iowa, you're a group.
Yes, we are one of many who will work to support them and fill those.
Now, remind everybody about this great event, and you just have some incredible speakers that people are going to meet.
Yes, we do.
That have just done some amazing things for our community.
Celebrating leaders in our community who are themselves immigrants and refugees to Iowa who've made an incredible impact. September 26th, Passport to Prosperity on the Drake campus, actually, where we were founded in 1938. So we're very proud to have that strong partnership with them as well.
Fantastic.
So if people want more information, iowainternationalcenter.org is your best way. $50 for an unbelievable opportunity. But you're saying if you're always looking for volunteers, help, things like that, just stay informed about what's going on.
Exactly. Visit us online. We're happy to engage.
Wonderful. Well, downright proud to salute a great local organization. Wonderful to meet you this morning. Thank you so much for joining us. And we'll